We are following major developments at the U.S. Supreme Court that impact several areas of the pro-life movement. And we begin with the big win for the dignity of life. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld Tennessee's ban on puberty blockers and hormone treatments for minors suffering from gender dysphoria. 3 Tennessee families and a doctor originally sued. The Biden administration joined them, arguing that the ban discriminated based on sex in violation of the 14th Amendment. Tennessee insisted the law distinguishes based on a treatment's medical purpose, not sex. In a 6-3 decision, the High Court ruled that Tennessee's ban does not amount to sex discrimination and can remain in place. The Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti is celebrating the decision.
This is a big win for evidence-based medicine. This is a big win for democracy, for letting state governments decide what state laws should be.
Matt Sharp, senior counsel at Alliance Defending Freedom, joins us now to talk about the implications of this case and several others. Matt, Tennessee's Attorney General is calling this a landmark victory in defense of America's children. Right now, there are 25 other states with similar bans on life-altering puberty blockers. Does this decision protect those state laws?
Yes, it does. No child should be subject to these dangerous puberty blockers and hormones. And in response to the growing evidence, over half the country have passed laws like Tennessee's that protect children from these puberty blockers and hormones and instead prioritize good counseling to help children struggling with gender dysphoria. So we hope that this continues to lead to more states passing laws protecting kids from these drugs and surgeries, because that's ultimately going to be good for kids in our country struggling with these issues.
Now, on Monday, justices did rule in favor of Catholic nuns fighting New York State's abortion mandate, which forces them to cover employees' abortions. Justices ordered a New York court to take another look at the challenges. Quickly, can you share your thoughts?
Yeah, over 10 years ago, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Hobby Lobby and Conestoga Woods that the federal government can't force people of faith to pay for abortions. New York is trying to bypass that, and so it was great to see the Supreme Court intervene and step in and tell the New York courts, you need to follow the law, you need to protect religious liberty, and you shouldn't be forcing nuns to pay for abortions.
This week, the Supreme Court agreed to hear a pro-life pregnancy center case out of New Jersey. First Choice Women's Resource Centers, which Alliance Defending Freedom represents, is fighting a subpoena from the state attorney general. That subpoena seeks a list of its donors, advertisements, and medical personnel. Can you talk to us about this case and its implications for pregnancy centers across the U.S.?
Well, for many years, the New Jersey Attorney General has been very hostile to pro-life groups, including pregnancy centers. It's labeled pro-life groups as extremists, and in this case has been trying to use subpoena power to force First Choice to disclose 10 years plus of information. So we're encouraged to see the Supreme Court take up this case, because this is part of a larger nationwide pattern of attorneys generals and government officials going after pregnancy centers, trying to discriminate them and to undermine the life-saving work that they do for women and children.
Another case justices agreed to hear this week is a lawsuit that challenges Colorado's ban on conversion therapy for minors suffering from gender dysphoria. Can you explain what's going on here?
Well, Colorado's law forces kids down a one-way street that leads to the puberty blockers, hormones, and dangerous surgeries that can have irreversible consequences for young kids. And it does so by censoring counselors like our client, Kaylee Chiles, who want to help kids who are dealing with these struggles, who want to help kids to find comfort with their biological sex and their bodies. And so by standing for Kaylee, we're standing against Colorado's censorship and ultimately helping to defend kids that are dealing with these confusions over their identity, over their sexuality, and to protect counselors and clients' freedom to have open, honest conversations.
Thank you, Matt. And then is there anything else you think our viewers should be aware of or that we should be keeping an eye on as the Supreme Court releases more decisions?
Well, we're hopeful for a great decision in the Mahmoud case. This is one of dealing with parental rights and the ability of families to shield their children from dangerous, harmful content being pushed on children in public schools. So we want to see parental rights be further protected by the U.S. Supreme Court and hope for a decision here in the next week or so in that case.
That's great. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you.